Me, there's you. Your audio should be coming in just fine now.
All right, let's do this.
Cool. What's going on, dear viewers? This is your gracious host, Kaine Walker, back with another episode of the Monkey's Paw, where we document the downfall of mainstream Western entertainment. Joined by my co-host, Soups. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing good. What's good, everyone?
Awesome. So, believe it or not, this week has been pretty lively, but not necessarily for a reason we wanted or expected, for that matter, and not necessarily surrounding topics we normally want to cover. That said, they're still related, because as we keep saying on this show, the line between politics and entertainment is pretty much blurred at this point. So, this being some news that's pretty much too big to ignore. What'd you say?
I said especially after recent events.
Oh, yeah. And this being an event that's too big to ignore, we might as well go ahead and cover the reaction of the celebrities and entertainers. So, where are we going to start first? What I wanted to do first is just show some...
Quite a couple of topics.
Yeah, there's a lot. We're not going to be able to read all of these. Which one do I want to open with first?
Come on, man.
No, man, I just...
The people are bleeding.
I know, but damn it, this is a hard choice. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll start with something light, because I think we'll be able to read at least two of these articles. One of them we're just going to show the headline for, because I found it fucking hilarious. So, I'm going to put this on screen. All right, so you should see the Voz Twitter page, which off at the top for some reason. Being cut off like that. I hate that. I can fix it.
Is that already like scrolled up all the way?
Yeah, it's just I just need to transform it. There we go. We're getting somewhere. All right.
Finally.
There we go. So, this is the Vox Twitter page, and they're covering an event that happened during one of Jack Black's concerts. And, man, I don't understand these celebrity reactions to the Trump assassination, but we're going to play the clip of what was said live on stage right here, and we're going to show the tweet after. We're going to show the tweet after.
This was quite something for me.
Don't miss Trump next time.
Nice about it. Is the audio playing?
Yeah, the audio was
without audio.
No, the audio was playing. Did it come through on the back end? Let me listen. I saw it in the the stream deck. Should be.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. My bad. I had to unmute it on my.
Yeah, it's on the back end. But yeah, these reactions are pretty sickening, honestly. Like, I mean, I'm no lover of politicians, but the idea of just wishing death on someone I've never met is kind of crazy to me. You know? And it's not even it's not even. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it is vile. It's just like damn. Like where's no hint of empathy. No comment about the other man who passed. God rest his soul.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Destiny's comments on that. I'll bring that up briefly. He basically made fun of a man for shielding his family from the would-be assassin. And that shit was sickening. Like, he's just having this huge downward spiral. And it's just kind of weird to see. It's one thing to go after Trump because that's what they do. Is he's like a political enemy. But innocent bystanders who had nothing to do with... It's just weird, bro. It's very fucked up. And whatever help he doesn't have right now, he needs to go get that shit, because that shit was uncalled for. There's never any reason to just... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say if he's even at the point where he can even be helped at this point. I don't know, man. This is just psychopath behavior at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty psychotic. There's never really a reason to bring up dead innocent bystanders and just kind of clown them. Like, it does. Just even saying that just feels wrong. It's really ridiculous. But anyway, here's the response tweet from Jack Black after his friend said that live on stage. He says, "I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday." Which, if I'm being honest, I don't really believe. I think he knew that about his friend. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at some of the comments. There's only 2 on here. Oh,
They're both obviously on the same wavelength when it comes to this. I mean, let's not forget the stuff that Jack Black was doing all this year, and I think even last year, bootlicking the other politician. Jack Black didn't say it, but I feel like he was thinking it too, and that's why he didn't say nothing on the video and try to damage control until the backlash hit.
I mean, we can't confirm that's what he thinks. That said, I don't believe he doesn't think that way. Like, it's generally true that you are the company you keep. You know, and he says, "I wouldn't." Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say on my end. I was gonna say on my end. I'm speculating, hypothesizing. I don't know the guy personally, obviously. Even though I used to be a big fan of him, but yeah,
Things happen.
it's just like you said, that you are the company you keep.
You know, and he says, "I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the tenacious detour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I'm grateful to the fans for their support and understanding." Again, I don't really believe that, but I mean,
Me neither. I
if
don't buy it.
if that's how he feels, it's how he feels, you know. But I just thought it was kind of fucked up how these celebrities have carte blanche to just kind of say vile things like this about the supposed other side's politicians. But if it was done the other way around, they'd have a problem. What else can we get into?
If it was done the other way around, they'd be calling for civil war at this point. Well, shit, they're already technically doing that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, rules for thee, none for me. Rules for thee, none for me. Yeah. This next one, I'm just kind of showing. I'm not gonna read through it, but I'm just gonna show it because I thought it was funny. 50 Cent puts Donald Trump's face on the album cover while performing Many Men after assassination attempt. And this is him performing it live on stage. This shit's funny. Oh my god, that shit's funny. That shit is funny.
Right, you guys should see the AI videos of Trump singing Many Men. It's so funny.
And it says 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks attempted to kill the presumed Republican presidential nominee during a campaign in Pennsylvania Saturday afternoon. Trump's right ear was grazed by a bullet. The former president was immediately rushed off stage. The shooter was killed moments after he fired his rifle, which, as much as I would like to speculate and theorize the circumstances surrounding that shooting and how it happened, I'm not going to do it because this is not that kind of channel. But I swear to God, I have opinions on that. And maybe I'll share my political opinions sometime in the future, but not right now.
Yeah. I think everyone's on the same wavelength. I think without it doesn't need to be said, but I feel like everyone, at least in our circles, feels the same way about this. Or at least in regards to transpired in those events.
Yeah. I mean, we all agree that it was out of nowhere, but not necessarily something we didn't see coming. You know what I mean? A lot of people had already predicted that there might be an assassination attempt on Trump's life like a while ago. Like, this was something that was just in the ether for a minute. Because, like, what else would they have done?
It's like you expect it, but you never see it coming.
Yeah. You know what might happen, but you never know when. You know what might happen, but you never know when. It was just, at a certain point, the next logical step in the causal chain. It's just, what else were they going to do? You know what I mean?
Makes me wonder, what else are they going to do now? That's scary.
I don't know. We just have to see. But here from the New York Post. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill roasted for mocking Trump's ludicrously oversized ear bandage. I'm not going to play the video, but it's just kind of weird how they find any excuse to make fun of Trump as if, like, they have nothing better to do, you know? It's also kind of... Go ahead.
I mean, given the... I was going to say, I mean... Given that at this point we pretty much all accepted that Mark Hamill is as senile as the president he's bootlicking for, but it does scream a testament to just how ugly people can. This event has revealed how ugly people are. At least some people, not all.
It's also kind of disappointing that
even among like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to follow what you were just saying there, it is disappointing because this is a guy that I respected a lot for his work before I actually got around to watching Star Wars. Just listening to him play the Joker and watching him like flex his voice, watching him be buddy with other people. You know, you think he was just a really nice old man. Huh? And now here we have him spouting. Here we have him supporting Obi-Wan Kenobi, apparently.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. It says far-left Star Wars actor Mark Hamill was roasted on social media after mocking the ear injury former President Trump suffered when a would-be assassin's bullet nearly ended his life. Trump was grazed by a bullet Saturday during a Pennsylvania campaign rally during an attempted assassination. What sec? Excuse me. While Trump survived the attack, one of his supporters, Corey Comparatore, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Rest in peace to this man, but I cannot pronounce that. I'm sorry. Corey Comparatore, I think that's pronounced, was killed while protecting his family from the bullets.
I thought it was Compator.
Compator? Corey Compator?
Or either Compator or Compator. I'm not respected. I respect this man, but damn, that is a hard last name.
Corey Compator was killed while protecting his family from the bullets, and 2 others were critically wounded. Trump appeared at the Republican National Convention on Monday, receiving thunderous applause and cheers from supporters inside as he made his first public appearance since a gunman tried to take his life. Hamill, a harsh critic of Trump and outspoken liberal, found humor in the bandage worn by the former president. First appearance of ludicrously oversized ear bandage, apparently not needed prior to tonight. Why? That comment doesn't really make any fucking sense.
Oh my.
The last time we saw him, he was immediately being rushed off stage after receiving the injury. Like, we didn't even see him get bandaged. Like, this is just kind of dumb. But whatever. Hamill wrote on X alongside ear. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what's ludicrous is just him looking for some smooth brain like alternative thing that like. Why do they always look for like other things that the or whoever's on his side should have done like when cases like this happen? Like what do you expect them to do in the heat of the moment? It's actually the fact that the things happened the way they did now is already a miracle in of itself.
Yeah, did you see the fucking comparison photos showing how close he was to instant death? That shit was scary. Like, him turned, like,
Yeah,
but basically, like,
literally
less than
just
an
turned his
inch.
head.
Less
Last
than an
second.
inch.
We like not yeah I'm not trying to get political right now, but we were less than an inch from civil war. That's how I feel about it. We were. That's how fucking close we were.
Maybe.
It is insane.
It says next, the Star Wars actor was swiftly criticized on social media. You ever get shot,
Wasn't he
Mark?
ratioed by an actual doctor?
Tim Young says, you ever get shot, Mark? Shut the fuck up. Here's the latest on the assassination attempt against Donald Trump. I already read this before, so fuck it, I guess I'll read them again.
Somewhat unrelated to the article, but I saw a Twitter comment from like an actual doctor that explained the whole process of bandaging ears
Mm-hmm.
in response to what he was saying about it being so oversized. He got literally.
What are you gonna
basically
wrap it
got
around,
ratioed
dickhead?
by an actual doctor for his stupidity.
Think about how an ear is
Exactly.
shaped. What are you gonna? Where's your anchor point for wrapping an ear that wouldn't be on the other side of his head or under his chin? You know what I mean? Like this, the comments just fucking
Like-
stupid. It's an ear. Go ahead.
Like it's kind of going with what we were saying. Like you gotta press press on like bandages to press on it and like wrap around, keep it all in there. Yeah, it's gonna be oversized because you gotta because that's how it works.
I mean, the bandage can't be
We're not
flush.
I'm not even a medical expert.
The bandage can't be
Yeah, I was
flush
gonna say,
against
like,
anything
I'm not
really
a-
because it's an ear, and that looked like it was gauze to stop bleeding. So yeah, it's whatever. I don't know what he wanted, but the bullet points for this article read:
Sounds like he wanted that bull.
maybe he should have wrapped it. Fuck, like, what the fuck? It says, failed assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks researched Trump and Biden and even a UK royal before shooting. Exclusive, Trump gunman Thomas Crooks used bike to scout rally unimpeded. Trump's would-be assassin Thomas Crooks, they use his name a lot, wrote chilling online post foreshadowing rally shooting. Everything we know about Trump's assassination attempt as authorities work to uncover Sniper's motive. Oh, that's a link to it. What we know about Thomas Crooks,
Yeah, that's a.
gunman who tried to assassinate Trump at
Yeah, I think
PA
you're just
rally.
reading like other
Oh.
topics.
I thought these were bullet
Yeah, I think you're just
fucking.
reading other stuff at this point, yeah.
Okay. I thought these were just bullet points.
Nah, they're
whatever.
links. They're links to other articles.
Oh,
They're
what's
links to
up,
other
Alan?
stuff.
Nice to see you, man. Glad you could show up.
Hey. Nice to. Yep, he got my message.
Not the B, the non-satire unit. Oh, not the B, the non-satire unit of Babylon B responded. It's so depressing how lame Luke Skywalker is in real life. I saw that comment, and he's absolutely correct. Republican strategist Matt Whitlock asked, "So this is your life now? This is what you do?" Dude, you're straight up evil. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, bro, it's a testament when someone is just calling you out on your life choices like that. Like,
It says
you know, someone's falling hard when this is what they do on a daily basis now.
it's just kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what the fuck is wrong with celebrities and their hate for Trump. I don't get it, man. I don't get why one side is unchecked when it comes to language like this being used on the internet, but the other side is fucking shadow banned, censored, and hidden from everyone else unto oblivion. It's just kind of weird. It's really annoying too, but
I've got some opinions on that, but I feel like we'll be going down a rabbit hole at that point.
yeah. It says, "Dude, you're straight up evil," one person responded, while another added, "Pretty classless." Radio host Anthony Cumia wrote, "Who could have imagined in 1977, as I left the theater absolutely amazed after seeing Star Wars, that 47 years later, the hero of that movie would turn out to be a tremendous fucking asshole?" Hamill was also accused of galvanizing support for Trump. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I don't think that was an accusation. That word kind of has a weird connotation. Somebody in the comment section was basically telling him, the only thing you're doing is making us more pumped for Trump. Yeah, like you're galvanizing support for Trump.
I feel like to an extent, I think it's true, but like, of course, unintentionally, because these people absolutely loathe him, and they loathe you for even thinking of speaking of his name. Like Lord Voldemort.
They made him a fucking Warhammer. They gave him a Warhammer 40K avatar, bro. He got Emperor Trump. That shit's funny. They fear this. They fear this man. I don't get it,
bro. You ever seen you ever seen that video with the? I think it was Italy made like a whole parade of.
Yes, I saw it. They made a float for it. The eyes and head moved. It walked. Yeah, you know what they say: never meet your heroes. It's funny, man.
With Sabaton playing in the background, man, you could not be more metal. You could not give him a better advertisement with that.
You really can't, bro. Like what I don't think they don't know Warhammer. Like that the character they're trying to make him out to be is literally the good guy, like compared to everyone else. Warhammer 40K is pretty grimdark and the Imperium of Man has its own bullshit, but that character is basically the good guy. Like they're the better alternative, as fucked up as it is. Like I said, Warhammer. Like you said, it's a great advertisement.
From the bits I've heard about I was gonna say from the little bit of lore that I know of Warhammer, he's not like a pure hero type of character, but
No.
the fact that in my opinion, just the fact that he's being immortalized into Warhammer, flex in of itself.
Not like Sargon. His character's not canon. It's mostly fan art, I believe. But Sargon, Carl Benjamin, actually has a character.
It was a book. Like it was like in a book though, because I remember you were reading the passages describing this character. And it just made him sound cool as hell.
It just made Sargon sound dope. Like, I don't know what they like. Why would you do that? Whatever. Let me get through the rest of this article. Oh my god. Okay. So Hamill was also accused of galvanizing support for Trump, mocked with unflattering memes and images, and asked, "How big a bandage do you think is acceptable for getting shot in the head?" Many others piled on with criticism. Trump's emotional return in front of the public just 2 days after an attempt on his life came as he entered the Fizzer Forum in Milwaukee to glee. I'm sorry, I can't read. Either I can't read or that's cut
The
off.
screen is too small. The screen is too small, so I can't help you here.
Damn it. Wait, can you see it on my end?
Also, I just want to. Also, I kind of want to say
shit.
to.
Wait.
Can I say something to respond to Alan?
Yeah, you can. While I put up the reading for you in the background that I should have done. Matter of fact,
you.
I'll zoom in the page. I'll zoom in the page so the audience can see too, cause.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Alan. In terms of, yeah, I know I've heard that term, like never meet your heroes and all that. A part of me likes to hope that there actually are some like genuine good people. Like no one's perfect, obviously, but I like to think that there's genuinely some good, well-respected actors. That if you ever did meet them, like it would actually be the best day of your lives, you know.
Henry Cavill
Like,
and Shaggy.
and
I
so,
forgot his name. God damn, what's his real name? What's Shaggy's real name?
for
I'm sorry, Shaggy, I forgot your real name,
God,
but the stuff you're doing on the business side is crazy. I fuck with whatever you're doing, especially when you did Five Nights at Freddy's
Matthew
and helping
Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. There we go. Yes, him. Yeah, I hope he's cool, and I hope Henry Cavill is cool. Please be cool. Keanu Reeves is cool, confirmed. A lot of people like him, like in person.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just looking at like just look at interviews, and that kind of tells you the character. It should tell you their character.
For the most part,
Should
yeah.
be telling. For the
Let
most
me.
part, unless you're like Dwayne Johnson, when that you know how to charm the pants off, but to hide your less to hide your less than pleasing side of your character.
I mean, yeah, no one's perfect. I'm sure. I don't know The Rock. I can't even. I can't even speculate. I'm not even going to.
I
Anyway,
heard Sylvester Stallone was cool though.
I hope he is. He's Rambo. He has to be. He fucking has to be. Please. Don't take them all.
No, I think it's confirmed. I think it's confirmed. He's based. He's cool.
You fucking better be. Goddamn it. You can't take Rambo 2. You can't take Rocky. You can't take. I forgot the name of the guy from Over the Top. You can't take him.
Nah.
But anyway, back to the article. It says Trump's emotional return in front of the public just 2 days after an attempt on his life came as he entered the Fizzer Forum in Milwaukee to Lee Greenwood's famous song, God Bless the USA. And we have a tweet here from Mary Tally Bowden, medical doctor. Not oversized whatsoever. Typically, we have to wrap the entire head with gauze to get the pressure needed to properly dress an ear wound. Exactly. That's what I just said earlier.
That's what I was.
It's a fucking ear. Like
that's the doctor I was. That's the doctor I was referring to.
Okay. But yeah, it's a fucking ear. Like, there's no anchor point to wrap around the ear, bro. The bandage would just slip off. You know, like he's actually lucky that he can appear with a bandage like this and not some other outlandish garbage like they used to wrap your head with whenever you had toothaches and shit. Alan says he still has David Tennant and Tom Baker. I know who David Tennant is. I know who he is. Fuck. I can't think of his face right now, which is unusual for me. I don't know who Tom Baker is at all, but I know who David Tennant is, but I can't see his face. That is very unusual for me. I'm usually good with faces. Go ahead.
That's weird because he's like one of the more because David's one of the more famous Doctor Who's, like one of the last good ones, but I'm not
okay,
sure,
now I
he's
do know who
cool
he is. I know
anymore.
exactly who David Tennant is now. Thank you for helping. Yeah. Bruce Campbell, absolutely.
I'm
Robert
not sure
Englund.
he's
Yep.
cool. Oh, Bruce Cap. Oh yeah, absolutely. Bruce
This has
is
got to
cool.
be cool. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe. I haven't seen enough of his interviews.
No, he's not. No.
Aw. That sucks.
Nah, I've seen Arnold back in 2016. He's and 2019. He's not cool.
Is Bruce Lee cool? Please say yes, please. I'll take another hero.
Yeah. Well, of course. Wait, why do you say Bruce Lee?
Because I'm hoping he's not just a dick in person to everybody.
Wait, Bruce Lee? I mean, Bruce Lee been long gone, but yeah, he had left a legacy behind. Are you sure you're not thinking of someone else?
Ian Miller, Mark, just say you wish Trump was dead. At least it'd be honest instead of this conspiratorial nonsense you clowns rely on for likes from the dumbest common denominator. Trump then took his seat to listen to remarks made by various everyday Americans. 1 second. At times appearing emotional as supporters of the former president outlined why Americans should send him back to the White House in 2025. Despite the near-fatal shooting Saturday, Trump insisted that the convention go on as scheduled, arriving in Milwaukee Sunday night. And you know what's crazy? Shit, did I just lose my fucking train of thought? God damn it, I hate when that happens. It was something important, too. Damn it.
Come on, what were you gonna say?
I can't remember. Fuck. You have anything you want to say before we move on? Fuck.
I mean, without going too off topic, it is pretty amazing that he still managed to make it to the event. And if y'all celebrities, I don't know if you were gonna bring up Hulk Hogan. If
Oh
any of y'all
yeah, Hulk
saw
Hogan
that,
ripping his
that
shirt
was
off.
absolutely hilarious.
The celebrity
Bro,
endorsements
that
were
was
pretty funny.
hilarious and that was hilarious. And probably one of the best celebrity endorsements I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Ah man, I'm mad. I lost my train of thought. It was something important too. Fuck. Is it coming back? Shit. Oh, there's comments. The TDS is strong in this one. And also went from Jedi Knight to the dark side. Hamill was a pretty boy when he got his breakthrough in 1977 Star Wars. Right after the film was released in 1977, he was involved in a car accident which fractured his nose and cheekbone and slightly damaged his facial features. I believe the accident also affected his brain. He has been suffering from terminal TDS ever since. Dims bloated.
No.
Dims voted against black
Tell
civil
me that's what
rights.
did it in.
I'm just glad that in the Star Wars movies, the Republic is considered the good guys and the Democrat Empire is considered. All right, I'm done. I'm done with these comments. I don't remember what I was gonna say to tie this off. It's never coming back. God damn it, I hate it so much because it was something pithy. God damn it, what was I gonna say?
I'm
It's
just
gone.
laughing at that comment about the Republic.
It's gone forever.
The Republic are the good guys of the Democratic Empire. Oh my god.
Fuck, man. It's not coming back. Anyway, more about celebrity reactions because these are pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Rudy asks if you need. Wait, Rudy asks.
Do
if
you
need
need
some of
those
them
by?
biting
No, I
pills.
don't need them. I don't need them. I don't need them. Nope. You can keep them. Nope. That shit is making his shit worse. I can tell.
Yeah, Hunter
But-
can keep his. Hunter can keep his stash.
Nah, bro. This one coming in from Fandom Pulse. Mark Waid and Heather Antos cheered the assassination attempt of Donald Trump as the comic industry continues its decline. And I'm pretty sure they made fun of Mr. Comparatori as well. Comparator.
I think.
But let me go ahead. This photo is historic. This is a historic photo, dude. Like, this is up there with the raising of the flag at Iwo Jima. Like, that's crazy. Like, The way the American flag just
we
ends up in
really
the
did watch
background,
history play out.
that doesn't feel like an accident to me. Like, it's crazy. But anyway. Comic industry professionals lower the bar once again
I
as
think
statements
as
from
some
Mark
people would
Wade.
say it's
Go ahead.
divine. I think it's just what some people would call divine intervention.
Maybe. Or cosmic coincidence. Either way.
I mean, also,
Comic industry professionals lower the bar once again. Go ahead.
that picture goes hard, like historical wise, and just like it's a wallpaper right there. It's a poster.
It's a pretty
The
dope
album
picture.
cover,
They're gonna turn
all
that
that,
shit into an
all
art
that shit.
challenge if they haven't already.
Only
They're gonna.
Bro,
Go ahead.
only only the Donald can find a way to one up his own mugshot, and he didn't even plan for it.
Man, I'm gonna start reading. Says comic industry professionals lower the bar once again as statements from Mark Wade, DC Comics, Vita Ayala, Marvel Comics, and Heather Antos, IDW Publishing, appear to encourage more political violence or to wish ill upon Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump after an unhinged lunatic attempted his assassination at a rally yesterday. Comic books have faced unending troubles in recent years. The entire industry, let me get rid of that ad, has been seen as an extreme leftist political activism wing rather than an industry meant to produce entertainment for young boys like it has traditionally been. It started with diversity, equity, and inclusion being forced into the companies with its content and the people hired. At one point in 2017, The Federalist published an expose on how every Marvel Comics writer... Yeah, it all goes back to it, which granted, DEI is a relatively recent term. We knew what it was, now it just has a more concise name, you know what I mean? That phrase is definitely recent, but it fucking works, you know? But yeah, it says at one point in 2017, The Federalist published an expose on how every Marvel Comics writer was tweeting hatred about President Trump, conservatives, or Christians. And that was to highlight the politically one-sided nature of comics. And not even just politically one-sided, because it doesn't matter, and I want people to understand this, it doesn't matter which political aisle it would have been reflecting. Like, this could be a fucking comic panel with Biden in it talking about, I don't know, I have no idea what the fuck Biden would be talking about. I don't know if he does either, but you get the point. This could have any president, Democrat or Republican, in the panel as a villain, and it would be just as fucking stupid because comic books were never meant to be fucking modern day real world political propaganda. It was just never... Bro, they had a fucking comic book cover where goddamn Savage Dragon, this green guy here, was fucking endorsing Biden as a goddamn nominee. Like, that shit's stupid. I didn't even like it when they put Obama on the front of a fucking Spider-Man comic. It just felt out of place. It didn't make any sense. I think that's when it fucking started.
What?
Like, every facet of...
Wait, they put Obama on a Spider-Man comic? Oh god.
Yes, they put him on the cover. They put him on the cover of a Spider-Man comic. Yes, you can. It's a pretty famous comic cover. You can look it up, bro. But anyway, the point is, like, none of that shit should be happening ever. Like, this is supposed to be an escapist pastime. Yet this fucking industry has been overrun by activists who care nothing about the source material and all about whatever their political lens is. Like, it's just weird. Right, Rudy Smith, you so politicized that you can't even use proxies to the figures you're criticizing. Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't even compare it to anything else. It says the industry hasn't turned around, but has worsened in subsequent years. Go ahead. Before I continue, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm kind of audio's kind of fucking up on my end, but that's just my signal. Go on.
I got you. The industry hasn't turned around, but has worsened in subsequent years. People like extremist Heather Ontos have only been promoted in the industry to determine who gets hired or blacklisted. Sales have fallen off a cliff due to the last decade's worth of political activism by the entire industry. Facts. As most average comic book readers have tuned out due to the wokeism making for stories that aren't worth reading. Facts again. Let's see if he can get a hat trick. Yesterday should have been a turning point where the country could come together because of an insane person taking multiple shots at former President Donald Trump at a rally. But the vast majority of the comic book industry is calling for more political violence or wishing death on him, instead of showing they have any moral compass. Oh, these motherfuckers lost, bro. They don't have a moral compass. But anyway, again, I want to emphasize that
we're dealing with.
Continue. I'll make my point after.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were pausing for me. I was gonna say we're dealing with villains. We're dealing with villains at this point, man. Just pure evil villains, and not even the fun kind of villains.
Yeah, that's a discussion topic for next show for sure. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that it's not guaranteed, but I'm not going to weigh in on that. I have no idea. I don't pay attention to shit like that at all because I don't pay attention to shit like that for the exact same reason I talk about it being in my favorite pastimes. I would be doing that shit. But now that it's all the same thing now, I have no fucking choice, and here we are talking on a podcast about it. But anyway. The point I was going to make is I wanted to emphasize that it doesn't matter what president it would have been getting shot at. Everyone should be able to look at that and go, okay, something's wrong here. That shouldn't be happening. Like, no side of the political aisle should be so riled up that they're stirred to take shots at a presidential candidate. That is out of the ordinary.
Might I add note along to that. Notice that only one side of the aisle has really gone off the deep end about that. The other actually hasn't done anything that you would think they do, like rioting or something violent of that nature. It's just food for thought, It's gotten so bad that even people on the left are even pointing out and going, "Hey, this too much. This is too far. We gotta chill."
Yeah, some people actually.
Or, hey, you're
some
insane.
people on the left have actually been. My bad. Some people on the left have actually been motivated to research the other side and found that they actually agree with them more, which is crazy. And I don't know, I guess they just kind of got snapped out of it, seeing people who are supposed to be on the same side as them literally just wish death on somebody for basically no reason. Like, I don't know, I don't get it. But did you have anything else to add before I continue?
To think of it this way, I like to think God diverted Trump's head to give people one more chance to finally see reality before they completely lose their minds. Because
whatever it was, I hope it works, because the world has been crazy for. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because it is nice knowing that some people, like, even if they didn't like switch sides or anything like that, they've taken notice that some people on their side are insane. They're just insane. They're psychopaths.
They're batshit, dude.
So, like, yeah, they're senile, batshit, off the rocker.
The
Going
worms.
nuts.
Let me read some of Rudy's comments real
Worms,
quick.
worms.
He says, the left doesn't even envision utopian socialism anymore. They're anti-natalist, pro-pedophile, pro-whatever. Weird kink comes up, and anywhere it infects, it is purely deconstructist. Notice how every comic book is deconstructing heroism, and there is nothing substantial to replace it. They're either deconstructing heroism or making heroes out to be... They're emasculating them. Like, why is Peter putting on the black suit to fight a guy that fucking MJ is dating? That shit is stupid. Like the black suit is meant for demon time type situations, like when they killed Aunt May. Like, he put that suit away because it scared his wife too much, right? Because, you know, the original black suit was an alien, alternate his personality. We'll talk about that retcon some other time because that's not how it originally was. But the cloth suit scared her so much, it basically motivated him to stop wearing it until somebody got too big for their britches, that being Wilson Fisk. And a sniper bullet that was meant for him hit his aunt. And he went on a fucking rampage. Like, he was there to kick ass and chew bubblegum. So he threw on the black suit, and he wasn't talking very much. He wasn't talking very much, bro. Like, he was so mad at Wilson Fisk that he showed up and, like, took off his torso and his mask and just, like, he's like, I want you to see my face when I run you this fade type shit. You gotta read Back in Black, man. It was a great book. Like, and you go from that to whatever fucking run they're writing now, and he's just... They essentially made him a cuckold. Like, he put on the black suit because MJ moved on to a new man. Like, that's some stupid shit. He was about to fight a normal man, bro. What the fuck? Dumb. Who wrote that? Stupid as fuck.
Cuckold, incel,
Anyway.
all that. Cuckold, incel, all that shit wrapped in one package is because fucking Paul destroying the Spider-Man legacy by merely existing. Riddance to him.
Where was I? Says the industry hasn't turned around but has worsened in subsequent years. People like extremist Heather Antos. What?
You said, what were we doing? And I said, chewing ass, I guess?
Oh, fuck that. The delay is getting worse. Damn. Says the industry hasn't turned around but has worsened in subsequent years. People like extremist Heather Antos have only been promoted in the industry to determine who gets hired or blacklisted. Sales have fallen off a cliff due to the last decade's worth of political activism by the entire industry, as most average comic readers have tuned out due to the wokeism making for stories that aren't worth reading. Yesterday should have been a turning point where the country could come together because of an insane person taking multiple shots at former President Donald Trump at a rally, but the vast majority of the comic book industry is calling for more political violence or wishing death on him instead of showing they have any moral compass. It's no wonder they can't write heroes anymore when they don't have any basic standard of human decency. IDW Publishing senior editor of head of licensing, Heather Antos is a woman who's run the Star Trek brand into the ground for the last several years, as well as has been involved in a child grooming anthology to try to encourage children into bodily mutilation through transgenderism. These sentences go on for a while, I'm sorry. She might have sunk to a new low in her response to Donald Trump's attempted assassination by comparing him to Star Wars Emperor Palpatine. Do they not?
They always try to make it.
Do they not
use villains to allude to Trump? I mean,
they don't understand why that shit doesn't work. They don't get it.
Because the left can't.
Like, you can't.
The left still cannot meme. Even now, after all this time, they still haven't learned how to meme.
People like Palpatine. Like, God, man, it would take so long to explain why this doesn't work, bro. It has to do with the audience's relationship to these characters. Yes, we know their moral compass is negative, but at the end of it, we also know them as people, which is something you don't get to do in real life. You don't get to know your villains as people. You don't get to see them in action. You don't get to see any of their fucking life path, bro. And that's why the advent of liking villains in stories is so difficult, and that's what makes storytelling compelling. When you compare your political enemies to villains from famous stories, you just bolster them because there's a lot of people who like those fucking characters. Like, I don't know. I would need more time to explain it deeper than that. But they need to stop doing this shit. It doesn't work. It does not fucking work. But anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna.
See
Can I add
this
something
stupid,
to that?
this stupid tweet. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say I want to add, despite the delay. Yeah, it's not gonna work because people like villain characters just for being who they are, and most people are not. They're not gonna look at Donald Trump like those characters because he's obviously not those people. Like, see him go off the deep end like Homelander in any of Homelander's scenes. He never goes. He never. I remember there was a Facebook post years ago, where they tried to get him on Bane from Dark Knight Rises because he said, and I quote, "And we give," because he was saying something along the lines of,
They
"And we give
compared
the
him to
give power
Bane?
to you, the people." Bane, yes.
Stupid, bro.
They tried because he tried to get him
Next,
on
they're
the
comparing
giving
him
the
to
power back
Thanos.
to the people type of speech that he made in Dark Knight Rises. And Trump said something that was just out of context, semi surface level similar to that. Like, to try to make him look bad. And it was, and looking back on it, it was stupid then too.
It's pretty fucking silly, man. Rudy
Like,
says
but like,
America collectively has been unable to Oh, go ahead. Finish.
I was gonna say, but like, they don't realize that it doesn't work that way because people like fiction characters, and when people like villains, it's not even a case of like them liking villains because they have like some deeper, like moral, like deeper inner conflict or things like that nature. Even though some do, when that makes them good, but some people just like good old fashioned villains, like just evil villains. So you're inadvertently making
Yeah.
Trump look cool by pairing him up with a cool character on the surface.
Yeah, villains aren't good, but they're cool. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Like, what the... Anyway. Rudy says, America collectively has been unable to conceptualize any political event or economic event outside of the conception of post-Great Depression history or fiction. You're getting a little bit too big brain for me, Rudy. I'm gonna need you to explain that one to me. I wasn't able to decipher that. I know you're stating a fact, and I read those words, and I know you're saying something, but the meaning I should derive from those words that you've just spoken is lost on me, if that makes sense.
it's it's
Like,
like
I
he's trying to
understand
speak to
it, but
me. I
only on a
know it.
surface level. Exactly. Like, I'm not getting the catharsis I think I'm supposed to be getting from that.
I think what let me help him out. Let me help him out. I think what he's trying to say is that we American history has just been basically gone downhill like post World War II, because you know how like they use like Nazism for like insert any group of people here at this point.
Yeah, if
Like,
that's what
like
he's
people
saying,
kind of really,
absolutely.
yeah,
He
like
is absolutely right.
because society, it's like society and American culture like starts going out the window like right after like 1945, 47. the whole family, like things like the family unit start
No,
going
that
down the drain. Things like nationalism that starts going downhill after the important an important war like that.
yeah. If that's the point he's making, it's a great fucking point because it seems like no one
Yo,
is
Sarah.
able to have any sort of lens. I was just about to say hey to you, to him. It seems like that's the
It's just
only group
yeah,
of
I haven't
people that
seen
they
him
are
on here in a
able
while.
to allude to. I just ended a question with a fucking period. My life is over. Anyway, yeah, that's a great point he made. Like, I don't get why we don't look at any other villains throughout history to compare people
I'd like
to,
to
or
see
just come up with our own concepts. But yeah, the fact that we're stuck with Nazism is just it's so stupid, bro. Go ahead.
I'd like to see like on a semi side note, I kind of like to see more stories that like have good guys fighting like communists. That'd be a nice change of pace. That'd be funny.
How about another story of good guys fighting each other because of a difference in methods, like something deeper than comparing everybody to Hitler? Like, that's just
Ah,
stupid.
I
And
mean,
I know I say
that'd
the
also
word
be cool, but I
stupid a
don't want
lot,
another. I don't
but
want
can you
another
blame me?
civil war or injustice. I don't blame
No,
you,
it
but
can be
like, damn man,
smaller
I'm kind
scale than
of
that.
like you just might. Yeah, I was gonna say you just reminded me of like the big Batman v Superman injustice, and then Civil War. Got like, oh god, that got way too out of hand for me. I almost want to go even back further than that.
I mean, it's because
I
they
get
keep
what you
trying to
mean, like
recapture lightning in a bottle.
things.
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say I get what you're saying though. Like some simpler like Daredevil and Punisher fighting over their ideals, or shit, Batman and Superman when they first met, they didn't like each other's methods of fighting crime, but they got along pretty well at the end of it.
luckily, let me continue on with the article for a little bit. Says Heather Antos posted a GIF of Emperor Palpatine before the Imperial Senate with the text, "The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed." With a comment, I'll just leave this here from Antos. The implication is that Donald Trump is the evil imperial emperor and that more political violence against him is justified by good revolutionaries who should do anything they can to unseat him from political power. Her fan base cheered this on, even though Heather Antos turned off replies to those other than those who she mentions. Absolute Power writer and longtime DC Comics legend Mark Waid might have had a crazier take.
Power.
He has been embattled ever since making a bizarre Facebook post last year saying he would rather burn the comic industry down than share this place with conservatives. That opinion really pisses me off, dude. Like, I can't explain to you how much that shit pisses me the fuck off, bro. Like, these fucking whack jobs and
Don't.
wingdings and they get, god damn it, bro. You hear people
I
like
understand,
Chuck
man. 'Cause
Dixon talk about how he used to work with people. He used to work with people that were literal communists, but you basically never heard about it because they were too busy doing their fucking job. And I think he said something about they might talk about it, but people would be like, "All right, man, what does it have to do with whatever you're doing?" You know what I mean? Like, it was very like people weren't in the political closet about shit, and as long as you kept that shit to yourself and focused on entertaining people, it was all right. And then you have people like fucking Mark Wade talking about, "Oh, I can't work in the same place as conservatives." Like, you fucking ideologically possessed goon, bro. Like, it's shit like that is annoying. People like that are what ruin fandoms, bro. Like, those are the people. This is why people used to gatekeep. And then we had goofy motherfuckers talking about, "Oh, gatekeeping is bad." No, it's not, bro. Gatekeep everything. Gatekeep literally everything. If they haven't made it to your fandom, they're on their way. Gatekeep that shit into oblivion.
and
It is
I was gonna
annoying,
say,
man.
oh yeah, I was gonna say, Chuck Dixon. He's also one of the cool ones. He's also a cool guy. Also,
Rudy explained
every,
what he meant
back
to
to.
me.
Oh yeah, I was gonna also explain that too, but yeah.
He says the American public has lost the perspective due to widespread ignorance of anything that occurred before the Great Depression. That's another good point. And I could do good to dispel my own ignorance about things that happened before the Great Depression. I'm sure I've studied it once upon a time, but it's been so long I would have to review the material. So, given that that affects me directly, you probably have a good point there as well, Rudy. So, yeah.
Doesn't
You
help
have
that
anything to add, Soups,
that
before
a
I
big
continue
chunk of
reading?
history is either. I was gonna say, it doesn't help that a big chunk of history is either like skimmed over, or they miscontextualize parts of history, or they just outright change parts of history, like lie about it. You know, like even like regards to like the Civil War, there's a lot of shit they didn't talk about with that in my school. Shit, that gives a lot of context to things. Or even civil rights era. They also didn't. There's a lot of stuff they didn't talk about with that. Or hell, the slave trade. That's the biggest one of all that they don't. That there's a lot of stuff about that they don't like to talk about.
Yeah, but
Communism. That's like the second biggest thing they don't like talking about.
I think they
Out of like
mention communism, but
like
they don't go
basic
in
stuff about
depth.
the. I was gonna say, in my at least I'm speaking from personal experience. We talked like basic stuff about like Soviet Union and like stuff they do and all that, but we never really got into like the whole discussion of like the ideology and like why it was bad. We just kind of just took the big chunks and didn't go all in on the little details. And I feel like that's kind of hurt a lot of what made it relevant. uh, Makes us doomed to repeat ourselves when we don't actually understand what the deeper meaning behind the stuff that we're supposed to know about of that happened in the past.
Got you.
And in terms of but back to Mr. Wide here.
Oh, wait.
He's a. I'm. We should just. I was gonna say we should just call him Wide now. We should just. He's. He was willing to burn the whole country down just to satisfy his own ego, and that is the worst type of person you'd want to have in your workplace, or hell, in your circle.
Yeah, it's annoying. Like,
Crazy. There's people. It's just crazy how you have people that are just really willing to burn down everything you love before they even consider voting or the other side or entertaining open conversation. It's insane.
yeah, it's pretty unhinged. And seeing it, like I said, bro, it was annoying. Just seeing these activists work their way into your sandbox just to kick you out of it and threaten to burn it down if you want to be reintegrated. It's just, or if you have a difference of opinion. But let me continue
And
reading
it's
this
even
article. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, and it's even more annoying when you make your own sandbox, your own circle, and they start whining about how you either they start putting you down to make you give up on it like a bully, or they start seething and coping because your sandbox is looking more fun than theirs. Basically, the entire creation of the Rippaverse in a nutshell.
Yeah, just random detractors. Where was I? Oh
You
yeah.
read the tweet already, I think.
No, I didn't read it, but I read a line in the article that referenced it. It says he posted to the Blue Sky leftist echo chamber saying, "If you're just tuning in, some fucking idiot with shitty eyesight just clinched the election for Trump. Fuck." Wow. Okay, so these are new tweets that weren't mentioned. Pray that the shooter was wearing an RFK Jr. T-shirt. If you're, yeah, okay, yeah,
What?
that's the second tweet.
What an what an
Yeah, he's pretty deranged, bro. Like, this is just disgusting. It says the implication from Mark
I mean,
Wade.
I knew that already, but still.
The implication from Mark Wade is that he wished the shooter had better eyesight so he could have succeeded in killing Donald Trump. DC Comics is put into a precarious situation with their lead event writer for the summer saying such a disgusting thing. Are they? Are they really? You know, like, is anything actually going to be done by them saying such vile shit out in the open? Because you couldn't even talk about the effects of the vaccine on fucking the internet without losing your fucking job, bro. You can't even state scientific facts without inconvenient scientific facts without losing your job, bro. And that's not even just the vaccine. It's just normal shit. Like, there's only two genders or some wild shit. Like it's ridiculous. Like, what consequences are they possibly gonna incur when this shit has been going on for what, the better part of a decade? And they've gotten to do this out in their jobs while everyone else on the wrong side got fired. That's exactly where the cancel culture thing came from. More on that topic a little bit later, actually. But continuing on, Vita Ayala, extreme leftist and former X-Men writer, made a bizarre retweet where she implied that liberals shouldn't even be wishing President Trump well. Liberals, Donald Trump and Project 2025 are an existential threat. Also liberals, get well soon, sir. Ugh. The closest thing to a condemnation of the events any writer at Marvel or DC posted from what Fandom Pulse could find came from an uncanny X-Men writer, Gail Simone, who appears to be the only rational adult left at these companies. She still sucks at writing. She stated, "This is bad. It shouldn't happen." Okay, just caught up with the shooting thing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, aren't you glad that I found you this type of article and not one that had like a much more opposite bias?
Yeah,
Make
it paints a better picture of what's going on.
This has a much more common sense take.
I mean, people always whinge about bias in articles, but the thing is, you shouldn't just be reading one article anyway. You should be reading as many as you can. But in certain situations, the truth is biased, bro. Like, there's no conservatives at Marvel and DC or IDW, if there are any at all, saying things that are even remotely similar to what's being said by the people who are currently the face of their companies. Like, none. Like, it's completely lopsided, bro. And like I said, it has been for a while. Let me read this tweet that Gail posted. It says, "Okay, just caught up with the shooting thing. It may be weird, but I'm going to wait until we know more before freaking out. This is bad. It shouldn't happen. Good fortune to us all." All right, it's not a bad tweet. One would think Gail Simone's basic level of morality should at least be echoed by the others at Marvel, DC Comics, or IDW Publishing. Still, the comic industry has gone so far off the rails that the mental illnesses of those they promote are on full display. If the industry wants to survive another decade, it needs to clean up its act and bring back writers who can bring a sense of normalcy to their discourse and writings. What do you think of comic industry pros cheering the assassination attempt of Donald Trump? Should Mark Wade, Vita Ayala, and Heather Antos be held accountable? Let us know in the comments and restack this post. Wow. Here we go. Update. Mark Wade has deleted his post after pressure from us. Because right-wing lunatics and Comicsgate incels have made a campaign today of sickly twisting my condolences about yesterday's tragedy into claims that I cheer political violence, I have deleted my posts. I will not give them any fuel to spread their disgusting lies. Bro, we read the tweets, dog. We read the tweets, dog.
The internet never
You literally
never forgets.
You literally said some guy with bad eyesight just clinched the election for Trump. Fuck. Like, you clearly made it out to mean that, oh my god, that guy missed. God damn it. Like, no one's fucking dumb, bro. You thought it was a bad thing that the shooter missed the shot, bro. Like, no one's stupid.
The internet doesn't forget, man. The internet doesn't forget.
There's a couple comments here. I'll read the first two I see. It says, Sarah C. Luckily, the alternative comic book world is swelling in numbers. Takes me back to the days of good old save the world and get the girl. The last thing I want in comics are liberal women running the show. I'm a woman, and I think these lassies need given a wide berth. And the next person, the brothers Kryn. There's a reason I plan to publish I don't know what that says. Bandy Dissinies? God damn, fuck. Whatever that word is. And not comics through any of the main comic studios. They're batshit nuts. Kudos FP for you tackling this and commenting on it. At least Simone has some sense. I mean, yeah, I guess. Her tweet wasn't bad, but like I said, her writing is still garbage. But more on the cancel culture topic. There's something I found interesting said by George Alexopoulos, and I do want to go through some comments underneath the tweets. Hopefully we don't run into bots on there. But I just thought it was kind of interesting that when the left gets a taste of their own medicine, somehow it's hypocrisy for the other side. You know? Because this is not remotely the same thing. Go ahead.
It's so funny how when shit hits the fan for them, they call on us to bail them out, show a little mercy, show a little principle or whatever, you know, like it's like the typical villain gets his ass beaten, and when he realizes it's all over, they plead for mercy, forgiveness, and all that, or you know, to try with a knife while holding a knife behind their back. It's that type of scenario, almost down to a T.
I think George is pretty neutral. Like, he's not. I don't think he's from either side.
No,
honestly.
I'm not talking about
so.
I'm not talking about George in particular. I'm talking about like others. Like I'm talking about other like not Tenacious D, but you get what I'm saying. That there's some
Yeah,
people
the other
out
side
there
of the
that
political aisle. Yes.
when if it goes right back around to them, they're gonna plead for unity. They're gonna plead for, you know, or hypocrisy, you know. They're gonna make up some excuse as to why they don't deserve what happens to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and before we continue, I do want to read his comments here, just to put into perspective what was actually said. So George Alexopoulos, he's basically a modern day political cartoonist. Really respect his work. And not Psychic Pebbles. I like him too, but I meant Stone Toss. Him too. But what he said was, conservatives discovering it feels good to cancel their enemies. Makes you feel safe, makes you feel strong. The people you are afraid of now fear you. Develop a talent for it. Begin enjoying it. Your friends warn you to chill. Cancel them too. You are God now. One, I think it's pretty early to tell whether or not the other side of the political aisle has gone off the deep end. Two, this is not remotely the same thing. Cancel culture was about taking people's lukewarm political takes and getting them fired from it, like what happened with Gina Carano, where she compared what was happening to people during the jab mandates to what was happening in Nazi Germany with the Jews and the Stars of David and the things like that, turning your neighbors against you in favor of the government so that they could demonize an entire population of people and dehumanize them. Yeah, and it was an apt fucking comparison. She got fired for that. Your employer choosing to fire you because you wished death on somebody. is not remotely the same thing. Mind you, if your employer decides to do something in response to what you've posted on social media, that is not cancel culture. Cancel culture is calling up somebody's job because of their political opinion posted on social media and trying to get them fired. That's what the fuck that is. That's cancel culture. You said some mean things on the internet. I'm going to call your job. That's cancel culture. The shit don't even have to be political.
Also take into account also fabricating false accusations. That also plays a role in the cancel culture thing too.
Explain that one to me.
Like take Johnny Depp. He got accused of beating his wife Amber Heard, and he ended up getting a bad rep from like a bunch of headlines.
Yeah.
Lost some roles, got lost sponsors. Like he lost a lot when he got called an abuser on that. Vic Mignogna, another person, he lost his job with Funimation, Rooster Teeth. His reputation was for a good minute stained.
That one is a special case.
It's because of accusations from the other people, the Funimation voice actors, that he got a lot of heat on him, and a lot of articles, biased articles, might I add, but articles nonetheless, accusing him of being, how do I say this in YouTube friendly terms? But for touching girls inappropriately, we'll say that.
Okay, so the accusations of sex crimes is different because people do that on purpose because they know what it does, right? That's a special case. You know what I mean? Like something like this happened recently with Dr. Disrespect, which by the way, thank God it didn't go on too long, but people are still calling him names behind some shit that never happened. Right? So that's way different. Like the mere accusation is enough, with no fucking evidence, mind you, is enough to light fire to your career. That one's a little bit different, but it's definitely included for sure. That's definitely a type of cancel culture. But you can't accuse somebody of being a conservative and have that person be blackballed from an entire industry unless it's Hollywood. But yeah. But yeah, putting this discussion in more perspective, I'll let you talk as soon as I read some of his tweets. He says, I'm amazed how we're the side who loves Lord of the Rings and have seen it so many times we can recite it from memory, but fail to see the reason the Fellowship had to destroy the ring wasn't because it wouldn't be effective, but because it would corrupt and destroy us too. I mean, again, I wish he would elaborate on what exactly happened and why this is an example of cancel culture in the way we've traditionally seen it. And I'm gonna read his second tweet because it's just a comparison. It's not a euphemism. What's it called? It's a God damn it, what is it called? Not an allegory.
Analogy?
Thank you. Yes.
Relation?
No, analogy.
Analogy? Yeah.
It's an analogy. He's using the Lord of the Rings as an analogy for this. He says Gandalf rejected the ring because it would make him too powerful. Galadriel knew she would become a tyrant, so she said no as well. Only Frodo, a hobbit, the meekest of all the races, could handle the task, and only barely, not without it ripping his soul apart. Again, I just kind of wish he would elaborate on what any of this meant. Another thing I always hated about Twitter, like, they have this icon here with 138 next to it. You would think you would click that and the fucking comments would pop up, but no, it gives you the option to reply. Like, that's fucking dumb. Why not give me both options? Like, whatever.
Hey, aren't those the comments below, right under it though?
Yeah, but when I click it, it doesn't open the comments. It does this stupid shit. I had to click to the right of that
Oh,
button. I had to click to the right of that button to get it open. Anyway. Oh God, I'm not about to read this exchange about the fucking Lord of the Rings.
I I was just gonna. Can I say my piece then?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say. I think. Well, I'm thinking of two stories in particular that he could possibly be alluding to. Them being the Tenacious D blowback with them canceling their tours because Australia
What the fuck,
practically
bro?
deported Tenacious D.
I don't think that. What the fuck? That did somebody call Singapore and tell them to ban Tenacious D? Did people call Jack Black and make him cancel the Tenacious D tour? Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, people need to be clear about what they mean by cancel culture. Again, the content of his speech was different too. But go ahead.
But and also the story I found recently about the, I think you heard it too, that this one firefighter who also made a tweet about like how about the shooter it like something about like how the shooter should have hit Trump too, and then he got fired from his job when his boss found out about it, and he got a lot of like understandable bad not bad publicity, but like blowback from even his own coworkers. Like they were disgusted with his behavior, and so I'm guessing he's calling that cancel culture now.
I mean,
I haven't seen like, cause like no one really actually like
we are
no, at least
not. This is the
as far
thing
as
I'm
as
trying to
far as I
prevent.
know.
This is what I'm trying to prevent. We are not going to sit here and compare strangers on the internet doxing you and finding out where you work to call your job and get you fired. We're not going to fucking compare that to your peers witnessing your horrid behavior and saying, yeah, we don't fuck with that. We're going to exclude you now. We're going to disassociate from you now. Or your employer seeing your disgusting fucking behavior and going, oh, we're gonna disassociate from you too. You don't get to work here anymore. We're not gonna compare fucking no life fucking idiots digging up your personal information in your real life on the internet who are complete strangers and finding out shit about you to ruin your life. We're not gonna compare that shit to social consequences from the people in your proximity. That's why I don't understand his comment, because I need him to elaborate further so that we can figure out which one this is. Because people seeing something and then going, yeah, we're going to get rid of him is not cancel culture. It's not.
It's funny because also it used to be like the other side would always talk about how like, oh, you know, it's called you're not free from consequences. Yet here we have actual consequences at play. These people are facing their are getting consequences for their actions,
Somebody said a
and it's not
hobbit's
even
tale
by
and
like.
put a picture of fucking Destiny up there. I'm
I get
sorry.
it.
I'm
I
trying
get
to
it.
find a good comment, but none of them have really been good. Hang on. Keep talking.
Like like I was just saying, it's like it's so funny how they're talking about consequences, but to them, consequences is then just like you said, being allowed to call up their jobs, or in another case, make up accusations to get to get make people take people's jobs away, just and ruin them for life. And now we have people ruining their own lives by their own hand. It's crazy.
I think we're starting to get to some
It's
decent tweets here. That this person here says, I think the difference between what the left, I'm gonna fill in some shit here because they leave words out. I think the difference between what the left is doing, uh, goes back. Fuck, man. God damn it. Write better. I think the difference between the two is the left goes back hunting years and years for tweets or if someone doesn't politically align, and they also dig up your personal info too. That's really the fucking difference. And the right does it over justifying death or just stop shopping at stores or brands and try to expose their children to transgenderism. Yeah, it's a fundamental
That's
difference.
not cancel though,
No, it's not. They're saying
right?
that no, they're highlighting why they think this is different, but I wish they spoke on the issues at hand. But again, like I can't blame them because George doesn't really elaborate on what behavior specifically he's referring to. I really wish he fucking did. That way there
Also,
wouldn't be this much confusion. Go ahead.
there's also a bit. There's also reminds me of the confusion between like what, because I know some people that still kind of struggle with understanding why we call stuff woke, and when on certain stuff on certain topics, you know what, or they think that some people just kind of throw the word woke around and that's going to become like a buzz term later down the line, even though it doesn't. But I feel like there's just that same confusion going on right now. That I guess some people are just so out of the loop that they don't understand what woke is or what cancel culture actually means, or at least why we say it so frequently.
Damn it, bro! I'm digging for some good comments in return in response to what he said. Eh. Oh yeah, that's another thing. People think principles can't change. That's not how that fucking works at all. Once you realize a principle doesn't work, like we've seen this in a lot of stories, right? Like my favorite example from modern times is actually Ghosts of Tsushima. Their sense of honor would have
Yeah,
literally gotten them killed if not for Jin Sakai saying, fuck it, I'm gonna be as ruthless as they are because if I don't, my home will die. Like he adopted like extremely dishonorable
attitudes of his
tactics.
enemies.
Yes, in order to repel them and win his home back. Like if you're not able to do shit like that, then you're gonna lose. Like principles can change, bro. Like I don't know why people don't think that they can. Like it's either
And
that there's books that explain this, like non-violence will get you killed. I forgot who wrote it, but like people talk about how being overly passive is actually a tool people use to manipulate you. Like they use that against you.
I know another good example I think works will be Godzilla minus one. And how we see like the turning point of Japanese culture with how they treat like individual lives during the World War, and then how that mindset changed. And in the movie's context, it's because they don't want to sacrifice any more lives pointlessly against Godzilla if they can help it. But it but like it goes but it's a nice look into how Japanese principles changed in that it, they they got so tired of sacrificing their own that they
They
rather find
they
another
valued
way, you
life
know?
more. They valued life more in the long run. Yes, that is a good example of principles changing for the better. Actually, they valued human life more. That was a very pro-life movie. I respected it for that. I really liked that movie a lot for that messaging. And I found another good comment here in response to him. He says, there are and must be moral lines in society that cannot be crossed. I agree, especially if we're expected to share one. This isn't cancel culture. We're getting people fired who are celebrating slash calling for violence, which I agree with that line. I don't think anyone who's calling for political violence should be allowed to continue to just like speak like that without any fucking consequences. Like if people see you doing that, they should have the right to disassociate from you. And if that's cancel culture, then I'm all for it. Like we shouldn't have people who are just able to say all types of outlandish shit and the other person can't talk back. Like it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean?
This kind of almost reminds me of that joke from Maxor's Metal Gear Rising Revengeance video, where Armstrong just goes,
Hmm.
uh, "Imagine a world right and free of cancel culture, where no one can cancel me for my outlandish claims." Or- a world where I can say the N word.
Oh God. I think
uh,
I think specifically the people who call for violence, like specifically like violence, I'm okay with that one, bro. Like nah, bro. Like you shouldn't be able to do that. No, that's fucked up. The left gets people fired for wrong opinions. Exactly. Not the same thing remotely. Like, would it help to consider? Would it help to consider who's canceling what? Yeah, I think so. Um,
so,
dun-dun-dun.
I like, I,
I'm not gonna sit here and scroll comments all night, but that was basically my point. Like what does he mean by cancel culture? At
yeah,
what line is it just holding somebody accountable and not cancel culture? You know what I mean? Because when people describe
yeah.
cancel culture
Is it?
traditionally, it was literally people doxing you, finding out where you worked, even though you didn't make that information public, because you said something they didn't like politically, and they just got you fired from your job. That's weirdo shit. That's not the same thing as this. Like these, and then you don't even have to dig for it. Like they're saying this shit out loud. Like they're wishing he died, like out loud. Like they see that shit because they've been emboldened, which is that word they used to like to use all the time for their political enemies. The entire time it was projection. The only people that have been emboldened is them. The entire fucking time. But go ahead.
Yeah. It. Oh, I was just saying. Yeah, it always has been. It's just nice to see what goes around comes around, man. That's all this. That's all this is. You you virtual signal too close to the sun, and you now you lost, and now you know how the other side feels. Because you threw yourself in the same
Cute
spot
girl
now.
boss too close to
Not
the
so
sun.
good when it happens to you, is it? And it's not, and like I
Apparently
said,
not.
like we were saying, we have no actual proof that the right is even on that cancel culture stuff in the first place. And from what I've seen, that hasn't happened. Like there hasn't even been a riot. There hasn't been no calls for political violence on Biden either. Like it's that's why I say it's crazy how they want to throw that at us, and we haven't even done shit.
Well, you say us. I'm not.
Anywhere
I mean, okay. I guess you
the
might as well.
people
You might as
themselves.
well say
I
us
know.
because if you're not, no, I was
Yeah,
gonna make this
because if
point
you're
though.
not on
You
their
might as
side,
well
you're
say
all
us
we're
because if you're a non, yeah, if you're a non-leftist, you're basically a conservative to them. Like even if you're not a conservative, they're just gonna call you one. It's fucking stupid. I'm debating whether or not I should read this article because
um.
it's just talking
I was
about
gonna say.
50 Cent performing.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to hop off in a bit. But what I was gonna say is, yeah, I know not everyone. Like, I know you. I know not everyone in the audience is gonna be like staunch conservative. Hell, I have my own opinions on that stuff either too. But like, I say us, and I think all of us the same, which is ironic as hell, because they don't like being judged for being
They
who they
put us
are.
all
But
in the
you know,
same
whatever.
box anyway.
Exactly. Like God be damned that even us individuals don't all align on the same topics, anyways. Hell, I know a lot of left leaning people are thrown in the same box as us. We're not completely playing the same game as them. So might as well the rest of us. We are. Sorry, man, but we are all
Yeah,
far righters now.
basically, you might as well join. We
Any
might
more?
as well be in the same fucking place.
I was gonna say, anything else that you were like initially planning to read? Because I'm gonna have to hop off soon.
No, actually, that was everything. I was contemplating whether or not I should read that 50 Cent article, but nah, I think the moment's passed. And we pretty much covered everything we wanted to
I mean,
regarding recent events.
yeah, I just wanted to say that that 50 Cent Trump poster was hilarious. No. It's
Mina
just
Kill asks, is it empathy when you are forced into it? I'm gonna need some clarification. Forced into
into
what?
what? Uh, because he said empathy, right?
Yeah, is it empathy when you're forced into it? I'm not sure what he's referring to or what they're referring to. Excuse me.
Don't worry, he's a guy. I don't know. I don't know. I think, like, I feel like I have an idea what he means, but I don't want to say because I don't want to misconstruct the point. But
Is it
oh,
really empathy if you're
when you're
forced
forced to
into
be
being
empathetic.
empathetic? I mean, no, it's
Oh,
coerced behavior
no,
essentially.
it's
But
not
what is
empathetic.
that referring to? What is that referring to though? I don't know where that question comes from. Is it because of something I've said or?
If he might, I mean, I could think of like maybe some of the like celebrity apologies as a show of empathy, but like not actually meaning it. That is that what you meant?
Yeah, but I don't want to guess
What you
what
meant,
he's
man?
trying to. I don't want to guess what he's trying to say.
Uh, yeah, you gotta call it like tell us like the specific situation, man. 'Cause we just went through a lot of topics on here. That's okay. I see what he means now. The left is trying to force us to be empathetic towards them, towards them being fired for their outline for their vile behavior. Okay,
Oh
okay, I
no,
see
it's
what
not. I
I
think
think
they're
I get what he
getting
means.
no. I think this is a big old Joker meme. Like, nah. Like this is a big old Joker gift, bro. You get what you
Yeah,
fucking
basically you
deserve.
get
Like you've been.
yeah yeah no like I don't know if like people like genuinely sympathize for them. Sure, people do because I myself not really. It's called consequences, man. Like actual
I mean,
consequences.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Just because something I don't like happens to someone I don't like doesn't mean I agree that it happened to them, right? But they're still somebody I don't fucking like. So I don't have to speak up for you. Like I don't have to agree with something fucked up happening to you to not fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like me not fucking with you is not
Yeah,
gonna
like if
change because something fucked up happened to you. It's just not. Sorry. I'm not speaking up on your fucking behalf either. Like nah, it's still on site.
it's still
I'm not defending you. You're an op. I'm not defending ops. I'm not doing that.
it's it's
But no, if you're
I
coached
was
by
gonna
your PR team to make an apology because it's gonna affect your bottom line, no, it is not real. Obviously, it's not real.
oh that was fun.
But yeah, you can take off. I'm probably gonna read the remaining comments they might be throwing into the chat and then just perform sign off. Let them know what's been going on my end for the past couple weeks. I've been working on stuff for the channel.
Don't forget to self promote.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do that.
uh
Thank you for reminding me though.
I was gonna say Happy to be on here. Nice, happy to talk these topics. That's probably the closest we're ever gonna get to being political on the channel. I know that's not something you want, and I totally
Yeah, with
understand
something
that.
like this is
Just
an anomaly, bro.
I just passed all this stuff. Yeah, I just passed all this stuff to you because a lot of the folks we know and the folks we talk about, they're all in on this too, and just furthers the theme of why Western civilization is on collapse.
No, it's
But
fair. It was. I'm glad you passed it to
uh,
me because it was fair. It was fair to cover. It was fair to cover because if the culture was skewed more toward the right and we had people who are on the right doing similar things, I would be covering it just the same. So it's fair to highlight. One side of the political
yeah,
aisle gets to be unchecked with their comments on certain things, and everyone else has to keep their lukewarm takes to themselves, lest they risk poverty. It's fucking ridiculous. So I'm glad you shared it with me.
all right. Well, happy that everyone that I managed to bring some people into brings people to the chat. Happy to co-host with you as always. I'm say peace out, everyone.
Yeah, man. Peace out. All right, guys. I am gonna wrap up this show here shortly. Anything y'all want to say in the chat before we sign off? But before I do get into reading your comics, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm glad to have any number of people watching these live streams, man. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy commentary on the situations going on in entertainment. I'm happy to have an ear I can speak to in the event I find something new to talk about. Um, Also, like sharing projects that I'm working on and becoming a part of the solution when it comes to entertainment, because that's another strong tenet of this channel. I really want to get into the entertainment arena and actually submit work to people to for people to read. So yeah, that's enjoyable. Exactly. No one should get a pass to be vile, no matter what side of the political aisle they're on. You have a good day too, man. But before you guys dive out of here, I do want to let y'all know I have been working on projects. Matter of fact, as soon as this stream ends, I'm gonna get back into working on one. I'm not gonna tell you what show I'm reviewing, but just know it'll be up. If not Sunday night, Monday night. I'm very close to being finished with it. I just have to overlay the clips into the gameplay footage I set up for it, and I actually finished working on the audio just before streaming tonight's episode of the Monkey's Paw. So if it seems like I'm not talking to you guys as much, it's because I'm actually working. And I'm sorry I couldn't do Dread Quest the way I normally do it, but I'm not doing a video game this time. It's a TV show. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, and the God of War review. I'm gonna start working on that next week, but I might need another week's extension because this last project I was working on took a bit longer than I expected. And like I said, you'll hear all about why that was as soon as I drop it. But anyway, thank you guys again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things. Click the links in the description to keep your fingers on the pulse of Cosmogoth. Thank you guys once again. This has been your gracious host, Kaine Walker. I'm signing off, and I will see you all again next time. Peace.